We are recording. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. It's October 23rd, and this is day 5 of the Posting for Profits Challenge. And how's everybody doing today? Does anybody have any specific questions or anything they'd like to talk about?
A very generic question. So I was looking in the Facebook group, and there are several Posting for Profits units. So I was in unit 2 or 3, something like that, but I noticed there's also one in like 7 or 8 or something like that. So I hope we were looking at the earlier one and not the later one.
I don't know. There seems to be 2 versions of Posting for Profits roaming around, and quite honestly, I haven't really tried to decipher it or care about it. The unit that I've been working from it's pretty early on in the units. Unit 2, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, good.
But you know, it's all this. I don't know why there are differences, and I think I can only guess.
Yeah.
It'll be a good guess, and that is that they've done it more than one time and recorded it more than one time. So there's a couple versions of it, and that's it. Anybody else? And you're fine. Whatever version you're using, I'm sure you're fine. So, anybody else have any questions? So let's. Pardon?
No, it was a good training. She had a lot of good things in there.
Yeah.
Especially about the hook, not drawing it out and, telling the whole life story before you get to the punch.
Yeah, well, she gave a lot of really pretty good examples of that. It's often been said that we have nominally 3 seconds to get somebody's attention, if even that. This you may laugh at what I'm about to say here, but it has been demonstrated that today's human being seems to have less of an attention span than a goldfish.
Wow.
And if you consider what people are doing, they've got their phone in their hand and they're scrolling. And if you can't stop that scroll, and you have maybe 3 seconds to do it, you've lost them. They're gone. And in fact, one of the strategies that is taught is using pictures to stop the scroll. You've got to grab their attention. And that's a whole nother training and a whole nother topic, but it's trying to get, we know that if you just post words, almost no one's going to read it. Almost no one. So posts with pictures get a lot more attention than just words, and video gets more attention than pictures. It's just the way it is. So yeah, so she started off with just talking about story posts and about grabbing, the first sentence or two, grabbing their attention. So, and of course, the whole concept of story posts is creating relatability. Facts tell, stories sell. Have you heard that? Has anybody ever tried to approach you with a product where they have the ingredient deck and they want to tell you how marvelous the ingredients are?
Yeah, like all natural.
Pardon me?
Like all natural and made from the Amazon rainforest.
What is your reaction to that?
I'd be like, okay, but what does it do? I don't really care.
Exactly.
I mean, as long as it's not,
exactly
doing something horrible to an animal or something, I don't really
care. Exactly. I mean, the reality is we do care, but if somebody's standing there with their product and say, well, this is the best thing since God made little rolled toilet paper, it's got all these ingredients, it comes from the rainforest and blah, 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 and you're going, so what? So what? What does it do for me? What's the benefit? And what people are really looking for is the benefit of the benefit. So telling stories is really a great way to get people's attention, create relatability. And she used the PAS, problem, agitate, solution. So talk about a little bit about what the problem is and then agitate the problem. Oh my God, I was so sad that I couldn't stay home with my kids. Now she uses that a lot, and the reason she uses that a lot, this is her personal life. So what you're seeing when you listen to Erin is you're really seeing a glimpse into who Erin is as a person, because it was during her days of being a mother that she started into all of this stuff for exactly those reasons. So she uses a lot of that. There are two things that are dominant in Erin's themes. One is the single parenting, and because she did have a divorce and end up with her children living with her, and at that time she was doing this jewelry thing on the side, and you got to remember that she lives in Canada, and there's a big difference between Canadian dollars and US dollars, and she was earning roughly $1,500 a month selling her jewelry. And as a single mother with either two, I thought she had two kids, but one of the videos here she said three, so I don't know where that number came from. I thought she only had two, but hey, I'm not going to argue with her. She probably knows more than I do about how many kids she has. But you know, I mean, that's really literally how she got into the home-based business. She realized that she was in trouble, and even if she had a full-time job, uh, full-time jobs, she wasn't going to make enough money to be able to take care of her kids. So that's how she got into the home-based business. And of course, like so many people, you know, these stories, you got to take all these stories to heart, because there ain't nobody that got into the home-based business and became an overnight success. Nobody, zero, zip, none. And you can go out on the internet and you can find stories of people that say, "Well, I made $10,000 last month. You can too. Just sign up here. I'll tell you how."
Yeah.
It's all BS. It's all BS. So, so you're really seeing, and you're really seeing a glimpse into Erin's life, um, and that's the important message that she's trying to bring across too, to bring to you, because what you want to give is people is a real glimpse into your life. And so she actually she used several stories as examples, and then she reworked the stories in real time to change it into something else. So whether it was travel or whether it was single parenting or whatever, she changed it into something else. So do you are you comfortable with the idea of how you can create story posts for yourself?
Well, I'm comfortable with it. I'm learning how, but it goes against what I normally am. I'm a pretty private person and was taught that way, to stay to yourself, growing up. Stay out of people's business and they stay out of yours. And so, you know, doing the opposite of that is going to be a challenge a little bit, but I guess you just got to put the pen down first or hit the first keystroke.
You know, I'm going to try something that I tried yesterday, and I think I know why I couldn't make it work yesterday, so I'm going to make it work today. I hope I'm going to make it work. I'm going to actually.
Not wine. It's not wine.
It's not what?
It's not wine. It's ginger peach sparkling water.
I don't care.
Sure it is.
I don't care if it's wine. All right, where's Erin? Erin. So there's a really powerful little section right about here.
So you can angle things. Show you a couple of more here. I think I was promoting something here too.
Can you hear her?
A little bit.
You might have to strain a little bit. I can't get more volume, but try it out.
Yeah, so I was promoting something I was doing. Oh, it's a 30-day business building blitz too. So I just took the picture. Again, I went through my pictures looking for something that would be interesting, right? So I found this picture and I said, I'm not, this is again at the same event, speaking at Live the Dream, 2000 and I don't know what it was, 18? I'm not the person I used to be. Believe it or not, I used to be kind of shy. Posting a selfie just 4 years ago was not something I was willing to do, nor doing video, a webinar, or speaking on stage. I do all those things now. I got to a place where I knew the old me, the one that cared way too much what others thought of me, had to go. I could not get to where I wanted to be if I remained the same person. I did not have what it would take to create this fantastic lifestyle I wanted so bad. So I'm telling the story of my own personal development since coming into the industry. Right? I want my audience to know that I am not the same person, that I put a lot of work into becoming the person that can do all these things necessary to grow my business. That's part of my brand, being open, honest, and transparent and sharing that with people. So I'm reaffirming that.
So I hope you could hear most of that, but
Yeah.
you know, 4 years ago, when she first started and we all, Nancy, we all started in the same place, every one of us. I remember the very first time I was told that I had to do video, and I just began to shake, literally shake. Now I've done thousands of videos, and I you know, I rarely script a video that I'm going to do. Rarely, extremely rare. I have a topic in mind, and I just turn on the camera and start talking. The only way you get to the point where you're comfortable doing this stuff is to start doing it. So take baby steps. Just start. And the first one, you know what? The first video you do, if you haven't done a video yet, your first video is going to suck. It's just the way it is. Keep it. Because 3 years from now, you'll look back at it and you'll pull it up and you'll play it and you'll go, oh my God, did I do that? Can't believe it. And you'll laugh at yourself. And it's okay, because you know what? Here's the reality. Nobody wants you to be perfect, because if you're perfect, then they're intimidated. They go, oh, I can never do that. I can't be like her. She's this glamour queen. She's this. People don't relate to that. What they relate to is being just old, goofy you and making your mistakes. So it's okay. It's okay if you make a mistake. It's okay if you clear your throat. It's okay if you cough, sneeze, laugh. I mean, it's really okay. Just do it. And the more you do it, the easier it'll become. Everybody with me?
Mhm.
So, does anybody have any questions or any struggles with story posts right now? So I want to show you, let me do a screen share and show you a couple things that I put in the group for you today. Screen share. So out here in our group, social media dominance, here it is. Okay, I put two things up for you. One is, there's a post here that says it's 10 types of Facebook posts. And it's just a summary of the different kinds of posts that we've talked about, many of them, but not all of them in the last 5 days. But there's a summary. And the other is we'll call it a DMO, a checklist, a cheat sheet. What's a DMO? Everybody know what a DMO is?
Daily method of operation.
Yeah. So what's a DMO? It's just, what am I going to do every day? What am I going to do when I wake up? Okay, and I'm gonna suggest, I'm not going to tell you that this DMO is the right DMO for you. I'm not going to tell you that, because I don't have any idea what's right for you. You're the only person that can determine what's right for you. But it starts off at 6 in the morning and it says 15 minutes, we're going to do the follow method, and we're going to follow 25 people. Now, everybody know what the follow method is now? You remember that? It's where we go into our groups, or we go to somebody's page, or we go, to somebody's page, for example. You go out to Tony Robbins' page, or to Ray Higdon's page, or to go into one of your groups and just follow some people. It's a way to begin to connect. And then we're going to make a few friends. We're going to send out a few friend requests. And there's some numbers here. 25 follows, 5 friend requests. You may not be able to read this, but it's okay. You can download it for yourself and modify it for yourself. It's just a place to begin. Don't think of it as the end all be all. Think of it as a place to begin. Okay? Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. So it's up to you. It's up to you what you do with it. So we are at the end of posting for profits. Now, if you watched, who watched the day 5 video? Okay. By the way, Linda, are you here? I don't see your camera's not on and you're muted. So can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Cool. Okay. Okay. Do you have any questions or comments?
I am behind. I have been exceedingly busy in other areas of my life, so I am not on top of all of this. I've been listening to various different things, but I just haven't been able to keep up. So I don't have
Okay.
a lot of questions because I've not been there.
Okay. Well, don't beat yourself up. You're right where you're supposed to be. Do not beat yourself up. You got plenty of time to, watch whatever you can and catch up, etc. By the way, I also uploaded 3 more videos into our group today, Social Media Dominance, and these are the replays from yesterday, the day before, and the day before that. So they're all there. If anybody wants to go back and look at what we've talked about, those videos are there.
Yeah, I
Now,
was looking for those and I couldn't find them. So,
well, my apologies. I got behind.
well, welcome to my world.
Yeah. Well, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, and we all squander some of them away. So I certainly squander some hours away once in a while. I just didn't get everything done, but they're all up now. I think all the replays are up. Now, for those of you who watched today's video, did you, at about 35, 40 minutes in, Brian comes on and they start talking about level 1. Anybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a level, I'll just tell you that there is a level 1 workshop coming in December. I believe it's the first weekend of December 3rd, 4th, 5th, 3 days. If you're getting value out of what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks and you're available that weekend, I would encourage you very, very strongly to do the level 1 workshop. It's going to take what we've been doing the last 2 weeks, and instead of a half hour a day or an hour a day, it's going to turn it into 3 full days. It's going to go much deeper into all these things. And Erin is one of the instructors. She does a lot of instruction during the level 1 workshop. And also Stacy Hall is there as one of the coaches, because they have breakout sessions. So the level 1 workshop is absolutely an incredible value for the price. And I think it's $197 right now. For those of you who are in iBoomerang, that is also the same weekend as Go Diamond in Cancun. So there's a conflict if you're going to Cancun. Is anybody going to Cancun?
You are.
I am, yeah. So, okay, so I'm gonna make a statement here, and the statement is: if you're not going to Cancun, it's probably because you don't have the money to do it. If you're in iBoomerang, right? You don't have to answer that. I'm going to make the assumption that you're not going because you're financially challenged. If you're financially challenged, you need the level 1 workshop. So for $200, you can get the level 1 workshop instead of the $2,000 that it's going to take to go, or I guess it's really more like $1,000. No, because by the time you put airfare in, it's going to be closer to $1,500 to go to Cancun. So you can save yourself a lot of money, stay home, and make a lot of progress by going to the level 1 workshop. And I'm just telling you, it's worth it. So next week we start into Diane Hockman's 5-day challenge, which is the list building challenge. Let me show you where to find that. Screen share. And we are in, let me get this out of the way, the MLSP VIP members group. Open a new tab. All I'm doing is getting into the group right now. And once you get in units, and so this is the one that I've been doing, posting for profits. It was in unit 3. So there's a new member checklist in unit 2, and then a welcome message in unit 1. So unit 3 is the one we've been doing. And then there's zero rejection marketing, which we're not going to do probably. And there's prospect and recruit. Then there's the go for yes, which we did. And then there is simple list leverage. This is Diane Hockman's course. Simple list leverage. Set up your list, create your first emails, blah, 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 blah. And this again is a 5-day challenge. So we're going to start that Monday, set up your list. Now, stop the share. Does anybody know why you need a list?
The only thing you own. It can't be taken away.
Do you have a list already?
Yes.
Well, I know you do, Tim. Nancy, you have a list?
I'm not sure what list you're talking about.
Email list.
Oh, well, I don't have them in one place. I mean, I have the customers from, iBoomerang, and so, so I do, but they're not lined up. I have to, go in, and I'd like to have them in something else where I don't have to log in every time.
So anybody else? Diane, do you have a list? Email? No. Linda?
Oops.
I heard a mutter. Oops. You are?
I do not have an email list, no.
Okay. Victoria?
I don't have an email list either. I have lists. They're everywhere.
Okay. Well, okay. So let me just settle back, and we'll be done here, and we're going to wrap this up in the next few minutes, but take this opportunity, because here's the thing. As you grow your business, I'm going to assume that everyone's here because they want to grow a business. How many people, anybody want to volunteer how many people you have in your team right now? Or how big your list is? You don't have to. Imagine the following. Imagine you want to communicate with your list. How would you do that? Okay.
I have 7 people on my team,
Okay.
and I just text them if I need to.
Sure. And with 7 people, that's not a problem. But what about 700? 7,000? See, if you're going to build a business, if you're really going to build a business, and then how many customers do you have too? Because it's not just your team members, you've got customers. And here's the thing. If you're working on social media, you don't own a thing. Facebook, in fact, Lord knows Facebook may go away this month. I mean, old Zuckerberg got his foot in hot water right now, and so does Twitter with their censoring of some of these stories. So I mean, they've both been called to come testify before Congress. They're They've been subpoenaed. So I think we're going to see fundamental changes in Facebook and Twitter here in the near future. And who knows what that's going to look like. There are plenty of posts out there of people, or plenty of incidents out there, people having their accounts shut down because they did something to Facebook or Twitter or YouTube. Ray Higdon had his whole YouTube account shut down one time. I don't know if you know that. Those of you who know Ray Higdon, they shut down his whole YouTube account. Why did they do that? They don't like home-based business. Why don't they like home-based business? Just go look at the spam groups. They don't like the spam. They don't like all the garbage that's out there about how you can make money quick and $10,000 last month and you can too and all this. They don't like that stuff. And I don't blame them because that stuff is really wrong. It's just not true. Nobody made $10,000 last month without having 10 years to get there. I mean, it's just the way it is. So there's a lot of misleading stuff out there, and that's why these platforms do not like home-based business. That's why you have to be very careful of how you word things and what you write on these platforms. So, and by the way, the one difference is in Facebook advertising, you can get away with a lot more if you're on their advertising platform and you're paying to run ads, but they're still very sensitized to talking about making money from home, get rich quick. If you try to put up an ad that says, I made $10,000 a month, you can too, I'll show you how, it won't get approved. And if you try to put it up twice, your ad account will be permanently disabled. We have a person in our group whose ad account was permanently disabled. And the reason it was is because she put up something on a business page that was not acceptable. And she didn't even know it wasn't acceptable. She was being misled by somebody in her upline who told her to do something. She did it, and she got shut down. And we have appealed her case to Facebook. I've helped her appeal it, and we can't get her ad account reinstated. They just won't turn it back on again. So all of that is by way of saying that the only thing that you absolutely 100% positively own is your email list. And it's a good time to start building one if you don't have one. So we're going to cover the basics of how all that works this coming week. And it'll be an eye-opener. And hopefully it'll help you along. So that's what we're going to do. Okay? So does anybody have any questions for today? If not,
I have a quick question. When you, Lynn, when you do your videos, do you have a tripod or do you have a selfie stick or do you just set it on the table? Like, do you have any things at work?
what I'm doing right now is holding the camera in my hand. And the reason is I do have a tripod, but the little attachment on the back of my camera broke. And so I can't attach it to the tripod right now. And you would think that that wouldn't be a very big problem. I should be able to go find one of those things pretty easily somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
You would think, but no.
Another quick question was, Erin mentioned like pretty early on that she had boosted a couple of her posts right before she started the training, but you can only boost your business page posts,
Okay.
correct?
She uses that word to mean, the other word she uses is juice the post. And
Okay.
and what she does is she goes to the post and she makes a comment on the post. When somebody comments on a Facebook post, Facebook boosts the post in the algorithm temporarily.
Okay.
So she's referring to just going and making a good old-fashioned comment. And also, were you going to say something, TJ?
I wanted to add to that. If you can go ahead and finish.
And also replying to comments that have already been made, because that'll boost the post in the algorithm as well. So that's what she's referring to. And yes, you're absolutely correct, Victoria. The term boost technically applies to posts on a fan page or business page and requires spending money and requires being on the advertising platform.
Thank you. That's helpful.
TJ, yeah, what you got, buddy?
She's always also mentioned that she boosts her post by going into a previous post that might have done a month ago, because they hold all your posts in your timeline, and just tweak it, change it a little bit. Take something out or add something in and repost it.
Yeah, you can do that. You can edit a post. Literally edit the post and just take one word out or put a word in or add a couple things. Yeah, and that'll boost it up, push it back up into the algorithm.
Yeah.
Where'd Nancy go? We lost her.
Yeah, her internet connection cut out.
Oh, so it wasn't my fault, huh? Wasn't
No.
anything I said.
Nope.
Okay. Anybody else have anything? If not, I'll see you Monday for the email course. And Diane, is everybody familiar with Diane Hockman?
Mhm.
Diane, Victoria, Linda, anybody?
I think I watched one of her videos in the MLSP thing with the, I think she did a storytelling as well.
Well, in fact, she's the queen of storytelling. She actually has a course out there in MLSP called Storytelling for Profits or something like that. And she does a lot of stories. She's no different than any one of you ladies sitting here, with one exception. She's earned over $1 million in MLSP commissions from MLSP alone.
Wow.
In commissions, just affiliate commissions. So she's really worth listening to. And this is, and you know, this is Nancy, you're back. You're also muted. So if you're trying to talk, you're.
Oh, it just cut me off, the Zoom.
Yeah. I was just saying, are you
Sorry.
familiar with Diane Hockman?
Diane
She's
Hoffman?
the instructor that teaches the course in email that we're going to do next week. And
Oh, no.
and she's really worth paying attention to for a lot of reasons. Now, many of us look at people that are $1 million earners and say, I can't be like her. I'm not one of them. You can absolutely be like her. You absolutely can. She's no different than any one of you sitting here. It's just that she's been doing it for 20 years. That's all. That's the only difference. She has earned over $1 million. She is the highest commission earner in MLSP. She's earned over $1 million in MLSP affiliate commissions. And she's the queen of email. And she has a very small list, a relatively small list. There are many top earners out there that have tens of thousands of people on their list. Her list is 6,000 people. Now, don't go, you might go, oh, well, 6,000 people, I only have 6 on my list. Well, she's been doing it for 20 years. It's okay. It's okay. If you actually follow Diane's advice, do what she tells you to do, and just do it consistently for a few years, you'll be there too. I mean, that's all she did. And she's really almost a legend in the industry, and very high performing, but very laid back, mellow. She just takes care of her customers. That's Diane Hockman. So, and like many of us, she's raised 2 children alone. She paid for both of her children to go to college, cash. She went through a god-awful, ugly divorce a few years ago. You know, she's just one of us. One of us. And so anyhow, she's really worth listening to. So that's what we're going to do next week. We're going to spend 5 days with Diane. Okay?
Okay.
If nobody has any questions, I'm going to call it a day. It's Friday. Have fun. Enjoy.
Too.
All right.
Good one.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm going to kill the recording. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
See you Monday.